Matt here at the Grafted branch Homestead. Doing a little bit of update. I should have done more on the build, but I didn't. Let me show you what's going on over here at the chicken coop on the homestead. And so, well, first of all, I guess let me show you what the problem was. So we had some shorts in the solar electrical system here in the coop. It had leaked a little bit with some of the crazy heavy rains, unusual rains we've been having here. It had leaked a little bit in here, and so it caused a short. And so I was needing to fix that. There was a couple things I didn't like here. I don't really like the battery or wires or electronics as much as possible being in the coop with the birds. I don't want anything getting packed or fire started. Also, the system was fairly underpowered with adding the actuator and putting some other lights and other things on here, as well as another actuator I want to add. So I needed to go ahead and revamp the solar system a little bit on the coop. So my solution was I built this battery box, or this electrical compartment box. So all I really did was build a frame, screwed it real good onto the base there of the coop, added a couple legs for extra support, leaving room for the cleaning door. Around here on the other side, you'll see where I am pulling out all the electronics and moving them. This was leaking as well, being under the gutter, I think, here. So we're just going to move everything to the box. I am going to leave this one. This is where my wires from the solar panels are going to come in, as well as a little battery gauge and a few things in here. So I added this electrical conduit, put some gauge wire in there. I just ran this behind and up on here. Had some trouble with my tool, that's why you'll see that. I do need to come through and paint where I've weather sealed and all that. We put a grate on this side for some ventilation, but so as to really make sure that it's not going to splash back on the electrical components, I put another grate upside down on the other side, so if anything does splash, it'll face that down. Now last night we had some really unusual hail and weather for New Mexico, and this box stayed absolutely dry, so I know it's going to work. There were a few things we were doing here. Alright, so that was just a little bit of what's been growing and going on here on the back 40 at our urban homestead. So a few things we changed with this box. We were running in the solar panel a little 10 amp solar controller. We decided to go ahead and upgrade that, put a little bit bigger one in. Alright. So we upgraded the charge controller, the solar charge controller here. We put a 30 amp controller in, MPPT I believe, and we did that just by screwing in a little baseboard about in the middle. I wanted to make sure if anything did leak, it wasn't going to hit that. We also upgraded the battery from doing our 14 and our 7 amp battery to a 35 amp. I would like to put 100 in here eventually, but for now this is the upgrade. So that'll sit up on a few little blocks there. We'll get some wiring put in here. Always hook up the battery to the charge controller first. You don't want to hook up the solar panels. You want to make sure that the electricity has somewhere to go before you hook them in. So if I was just to hook the solar panels into this right now, it would fry out the unit. You need to have the battery in first, and when you take it apart, you do the same in reverse. You take off the solar panels, then the battery. You'll keep a good charge controller with that. So anyways, we upgraded that. We upgraded the battery. I haven't upgraded the solar panels yet. We got our wire running in here from our conduit on the outside. This will be from the solar panels, so we'll run that along back up in and hook up the battery first, then the solar panels, and we'll get some of our wiring mess on the side of the coop fixed. Then we'll go ahead and put in our circuit breaker, and then we can run in our lights and actuators, timers, and whatnot. So this box provides quite a bit more room. Built it sealed up real good all the way along. Just shut it in. And of course, being an urban homestead with all of this just behind us, we throw a lock on it. I'm going to get a little bit of video of me right now pulling some of this apart. Some of it I'll explain. If anyone would like me to explain more what I'm doing in depth, I can go ahead and do that. I have relays here for the actuator, timers, my 12 volt system, and then I'm also going to hook in the water pump for the corn irrigation. So I'm going to be getting that all wired up here, put some music on, and then I'll explain some as we go. What do you think, ladies? Ready to have your door be shutting again at night and your lights on? Your water pumping? I'm ready. Mama came out, so we decided to stop, take a break to shake the corn.
Hey!
To get some of the pollen to fall. The chickens will peck the leaves on the edge, but I let them because they'll shake them, so the pollen will fall more.
Did you see that purple one that was here the other day? Oh, did you hear who got it?
I don't know.
Maddie.
I'm not sure.
Look at this.
Quite ready. Give them a little bit longer. Let's get them right. What you guys doing chilling back here? Yeah. We'll give it a little bit and then we'll go through it. And I'll plant sorghum here when this is done. The watermelons will take most of that. You guys aren't getting anything. Shh. Eventually I'm going to put a fuse between the battery and the charge controller. I do not have one right now though, so the charge controller will have to do a good job. For whatever reason, I always struggle with this part. Getting these things in this clamps here so I can screw them down. should be simple enough. Always seems to be a problem for me. Cool. And then they're nice and tight. And we'll connect the positive battery. And I can see already the charge controller giving me a 12.9 volts on the battery. So the battery is good to go. So you can see on the charge controller there, it's already giving me a 12.9, 32 degrees Celsius in here. No solar panels attached, nothing coming out right now. So there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and attach the fuses that will go into the auxiliary on here, and a light, and so I can test it. And we'll go ahead and hook up the solar over here. Okay, today is hot. Today is very hot in New Mexico. 100 degrees in that blaring sun there. So I came over here in the shade. We had this I don't know, 16 gauge wire or whatnot we had on here. We're just going to go ahead and put a larger gauge. I believe this is 14. Not sure. It's a larger gauge. I'm going to go ahead and put that on, go in between the accessory port on the solar charge controller, going into the bus bars and the fuse box here. So we have a negative bus bar, so we can connect all of our negative leads. We'll go ahead and connect our positive, and then we can feed into that for actuators lights to come out. Getting a breeze. We've been having storms at night, real big storms. So I don't know if one's coming through tonight. Hopefully we can always use it. As long as that doesn't bring the hail like it did the other day. That damages a lot of the plants, structures, catches animals off guard. So I'm going to be beefing up this box. It was a project a little bit. One of the things that happened in the storm the other day was we lost power, had a power outage, so we got to get out the emergency lights and things like that. And I want to be putting in solar power, emergency backup power on our freezers and items like that help us preserve our food. So that's part of why I'm doing this solar system on the chicken coop, so I can learn skills and just things I need to go ahead and put a small, somewhat off-grid system in the house. So we're beefing this up a little bit. Some of the things we could do with it now, if the power goes off, is we could plug our cell phones in, charge them, some battery banks if we needed for small devices, or an inverter if we had to turn a computer on or TV or something like that. So that's something we do have with this project. I only got 35 watts solar up there, so we'll certainly need to get some more panels, and hopefully I'll be doing a home build to take our freezers off grid later and be able to show you that. Gotta go get my tape. know it's nothing. I love watching them take their dirt baths. He's gonna run away. I just think it's awesome. So they're gonna go hide from the camera. A lot of flies. The rain has caused us to have lots of flies back here the last couple days. And I'm assuming this heat here in New Mexico will kill them off soon. They have been everywhere, so you can see them flying around. Crazy too. Cool. So on this unit here, it has a fuse box as well as a negative bus bar. So we'll connect the negative to here, so we can use all of our negative items right by the connector. Tools are important. I've learned that this year. Luckily, thanks to family, I've gotten a lot more than I'd had before, so that's awesome. I don't have a wire stripper still though, so a good old pair of cutters is going to have to do. Sure, I don't leave anything around for the chickens to pick up. I did leave this out. They were pecking at it, knocking it around, just little toys, so that's why that's there. I wanted to build this box the way I did. In case you're wondering, there is plan to it. So that way if either I decide to no longer use it for the solar electronics and whatnot, or we move or have other needs or whatnot, this box would be really easy to make into a little nesting box. We could do a double nesting box in here, or use it to store food or chicken things or stuff like that. So that's the way, that's what I was thinking of when I went ahead and built it the way I did, as well as just to make sure it stays climate controlled. So this charge controller does have a temperature thing. It'll let you know how hot it is in here and whatnot, and so I'm going to keep an eye on that when the door's shut. It'll be a problem later if I put that there. So I gotta try and use my brain a little bit more here on this one. There we go. And take our negative lead to the auxiliary on the charge controller. Pause again. There we go. Okay. Now a little fuse box should be working. We'll test that out here. Alright, so I set this little LED light. And we're going to do a negative and a positive. And it's working just fine there. Let's see. Alright. It's on at 12.6 volts, so we're going to go ahead and get those solar panels hooked up next. Alright, so it looks nice, sunny, clear. I can tell you though by the wind picking up a little bit and the way it's been, New Mexico weather can change like that. We have one thing left to do. I have connected the solar panels there, up here, and then it runs in and down, and then where it's connected here, we just have to connect the positive still to get it going. Kind of shoddy right now, a little bit, yes. I do want to get a bigger solar panel and some actual connectors, and so we're just going to leave it like it is for now, and when we upgrade that, we'll make a video. We're going to go ahead and connect the power, and I'll show you that it is charging on those solar panels, or charging the battery on the controller. And from there, we're not going to go too much into depth on the rest of this in this video. I'll make some other videos on that and more in-depth things as I work on it. But for now, we're going to get it going here. Just kidding. Safety first. Hit the negative first and cap that. 12 volts isn't a lot, but it'll hurt. Also nothing to laugh at. I think I should be pulling about, actually, 14 coming in, about 14 volts coming in from the solar panel. So I want to be about 200 watts of solar to this when we're done. I do want it to power some more outside lights, as well as another actuator and possibly another small water pump. That may not be enough to do all that, but we'll find out. So you can see right now it shows that it does have battery on it, and it is connected to this thing here for power from the battery. And the solar panels. That would be why. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this hooked up here. And then in a day or two when I have time, I'll come back, pin up and tidy up wires, work on connecting lights and actuators, and make some videos on that. And I can see already it is reading those solar panels and charging the batteries. We'll take a look at that. So you can see it's 1.5 amps is coming in from the solar and nothing's going out. Alright, 14.2 volts. And so we are good. Things are running good and it is happy. Well, this was fun. I got a lot done for today. Hopefully you learned something, or I inspired something, or gave you some ideas. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe, hit the bell, check always so you definitely see them. And I'll be posting a lot more on putting lights in, the actuators for the doors, as well as the water pump, and a better video on that for the irrigation system. So stay tuned.